One of the fundamental mistakes that many of us make when we're starting out in bonsai is that we take an undeveloped, immature tree and we put that into a ceramic bonsai pot. And that effectively puts its development into slow motion. I'm now taking a number of my trees and counterintuitively taking a step backwards in bonsai to push their development forwards. Keep watching to learn how and why, and how that will help improve your bonsai trees. Bonsai, the ancient Japanese art of cultivating miniature trees, is a practice that requires patience, skill, and good understanding of horticulture. While the focus often lies on shaping the tree's foliage and branches and getting it into a display pot, equally important is the development of mature and aesthetically pleasing trunk, which is the foundation of the tree and where it gains its sense of age and maturity. Putting a tree like this into a bonsai pot limits the space and resources available for its growth and development. Experienced bonsai enthusiasts will only put trees into finished bonsai pots once they've reached a certain stage of refinement and maturity after a number of years of development. The problem with pots. Placing any tree into a ceramic bonsai pot imposes limitations and restrictions on its growth, primarily due to its confined space and restricted root system. Here's a breakdown of how ceramic bonsai pots limit growth. Limited root space. Ceramic bonsai pots typically have shallow depth and compact dimensions, providing limited room for root expansion. As the tree grows, its roots become confined within the confines of the pot, inhibiting the ability to spread and absorb nutrients effectively. This limited root space restricts the overall growth potential of the tree, as it cannot develop a robust root system essential for optimal health and vigour. Restricted nutrient uptake. In ceramic bonsai pots, the volume of soil available for nutrient absorption is restricted compared to a larger container, or the ground. As a result, the tree may struggle to obtain sufficient nutrients necessary for healthy growth and development. Limited nutrient uptake can lead to stunted growth, weak foliage, and overall diminished vitality. Constrained trunk growth. The limited space in ceramic bonsai pots also affects trunk growth and thickening. Without ample room for root expansion, the tree cannot develop a strong and sturdy trunk characteristic of a mature bonsai specimen. Trunk thickening occurs at a slower rate in confined spaces, detracting from the desired aesthetic appeal of the bonsai. For a tree newly planted or transplanted into the ground, year 1 will be slow as the tree is in shock. In year 2, the roots will begin to develop as the tree gets established, and in years 3 and subsequent years, the tree will begin to put on significant growth. By comparison, for a tree grown in a pot, growth over the same period of time might be negligible. Whilst growth may not have stopped, consider it has been put into slow motion. Watering challenges. Ceramic bonsai pots typically have drainage holes to prevent waterlogging, but they require frequent watering due to their limited soil volume. Inadequate watering can stress trees and hinder its growth, while overwatering can lead to root rot and other moisture-related issues. Maintaining proper moisture levels in ceramic pots requires careful monitoring and attention, adding another layer of complexity to bonsai care. Placing a tree into a ceramic bonsai pot limits and restricts its growth primarily by confining root expansion, restricting nutrient uptake, constraining trunk development, posing watering challenges. While ceramic pots are valued for aesthetic appeal and traditional significance in bonsai culture, alternative methods such as planting in larger containers or the ground offer advantages for promoting healthier and more vigorous growth in bonsai trees. One technique is taking a step backwards in bonsai, where trees are temporarily removed from their traditional bonsai pots and planted in larger containers or directly into the ground to help them thicken up and develop. Let's explore the benefits of this approach, particularly concerning trunk development. Understanding the concept of going backwards in bonsai. Going backwards in bonsai involves temporarily shifting a tree out of its bonsai pot and placing it into a larger container or planting it directly into the ground. This approach allows the tree to undergo rapid growth, primarily focusing on root and trunk development, rather than foliage refinement. The benefits of planting in pond baskets or the ground. Enhanced root development. Placing a bonsai tree in a larger container or the ground provides ample space for root expansion. With unrestricted root growth, the tree can absorb nutrients more efficiently, leading to overall healthier growth. Trunk thickening. In traditional bonsai pots, trees often experience restricted root growth, which can hinder trunk thickening. By planting in a larger container or the ground, trees can develop thicker trunks at a faster rate, contributing to a more mature and aesthetically pleasing bonsai. This Chinomales, or quince, will never amount to anything in this plastic tub, or indeed in a ceramic bonsai pot. However, if I plant this into my growing beds here, then it will experience some phenomenal trunk growth, so that's the plan. Improve taper and nebari formation. Taper, the gradual decrease in trunk diameter from base to apex, and nebari, the surface root spreading radially around the base of the tree, are essential elements of bonsai aesthetics. Planting in larger containers or the ground encourages natural taper and nebari formation, as the tree can develop a more extensive root system and trunk base. Stress reduction. Transplanting a tree into a larger container or the ground temporarily relieves the stress caused by confinement in the bonsai pot. Reduced stress promotes vigorous growth and overall tree health. Practical considerations. Selecting the right container. When opting to plant a bonsai tree in a pond basket or the ground, it's crucial to choose a container that provides sufficient space for root and trunk development. Pond baskets, with their open mesh design, allow for excellent drainage and aeration, promoting healthy root growth. I particularly favour these large perforated baskets because they are wide and shallow, so encourage lateral root growth that prepares the tree for life in a shallow bonsai pot. The perforations allow for excess water to drain off, and for great aeration to the roots. Ground planting. Planting trees into the ground or into a growing bed will always provide greater benefits, as the tree can naturally source all the water and nutrients it requires for rapid growth. To prevent the roots from escaping and to help promote a lateral radial root spread, it can be beneficial to plant it over the top of a buried paving slab. This will restrict downward root growth, encourage the roots to splay out into a shallow root mass, and make it easier to dig up once it's matured after a number of years. This in turn sets up the tree for a life in a shallow pot. Monitoring and maintenance. While trees planted in larger containers or the ground may experience rapid growth, it's essential to monitor their progress regularly. Proper watering, fertilisation and protection from extreme weather conditions are necessary to ensure the tree's health and vitality. In conclusion, in the world of bonsai, going backwards with immature trees in pots by transplanting them into larger containers or directly into the ground offers numerous benefits, particularly concerning trunk development. By providing ample space for root expansion and unrestricted growth, this approach accelerates trunk thickening, enhances taper and nebari formation, and reduces stress on the tree. While traditional bonsai techniques remain fundamental to the art form, embracing methods that prioritise trunk development can yield striking results, ultimately contributing to the creation of more mature, refined, and visually captivating bonsai specimens.